I've just spent the morning watching the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. And yes, I did shed a tear or two. In fact, I've been watching on and off for the past 10 days during the mourning period of the Queen. Have you watched? To me, it was very personal, and I'll tell you why. I'm Sandy over 70. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. When I was a little girl, before there were computers or cell phones, we had television, 3 channels to begin with, and we had books. We had libraries. And my refuge was a branch library, a very small building, but it was filled with a lot of young adult books, and I visited there very often. I loved it there. In fact, that's where I read all of the nurse books like Sue Barton's Student Nurse that caused me to become a nurse. But my other interest was the royal family of England. I was fascinated by England and the royal family. I had an aunt who had come from Wales as a war bride. She married my uncle after World War II, and she would tell us stories of surviving the war in the tunnels and subways and all of the horrors of the bombing. But beyond that, I was fascinated by the royal family itself, and there happened to be a lot of books in that little library. And so I read them all. I read books about Queen Elizabeth, every one that there was. I read books about her sister, her husband, her father, about Queen Victoria. I didn't go really any further back than Queen Victoria. But I read all those books, and I continued reading those books until now. As a hobby, I created a royal family scrapbook. In those days, the scrapbooks were made out of newsprint, and they had a kind of flimsy cover. But every time I saw a photo of any member of the royal family in the newspaper or magazine, I cut it out and pasted it in my scrapbook. That's how much I loved the royal family. Any book that comes out about a member of the royal family, for the most part, I will read it. And of course, I was fascinated with Diana when she came into the picture. Charles is my age. We're the same age. And so I had fleeting fantasies of marrying him when I was a little girl, even though I knew that was impossible. But I was fascinated with Diana. I am fascinated with Harry's exploits and with Meghan, and I feel sorry for what they have to go through. But on the other hand, when you look at how the Queen conducted her life of service, you wonder if we'll ever see that again. Watching the funeral this morning was so beautiful. All the little touches, all the preparation, everything precision. And it brought back memories of my visits to England and made me want to go back again. I've been 2 or 3 times, and on my last visit, I visited both Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. But now I feel like I want to go back and look at it with new eyes. I haven't traveled to Europe since the pandemic and haven't had any desire. But I think I'll change my mind because I love England. I love everything about it. I love the countryside. I love the history. Have you been to England? What were your experiences? Do you feel the same way that I do? I think Charles is going to be a good king. He's had so much time to prepare, and I believe he will dedicate his life to service. I'm glad Camilla is queen consort. It's the right thing at this point, 25 years after Diana. I think William and Catherine are wonderful examples of the young generation, and their children are adorable. I wish them all the best as we start this new era. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.